This 2021 Christmas season has all the ingredients for a slow, glum month in a skimpy tree. But every once in a long, rare while, a ray of light shines through the clouds, even on the grayest of days. This is the Christmas time story of a little old lady facing homelessness on a very cold and windy Rhode Island December day. And it's the story of how some very dedicated Rhode Island civil servants in the lieutenant governor's office went the extra mile to help this poor old gal. It all started when our church's beloved leader, Ann Armstrong, organized this year's long-standing annual rosary prayer for our State House, which has occurred every December 8th on the feast of St. Juan Diego, going back for decades. She called friends to join her and got some terrible news. Her friend Brian's frail 72-year-old mother was facing eviction over a simple misunderstanding with a big realty company, and she just slipped through the cracks. And so Brian and his frail little mother ventured out in the bitter cold and wind to join Ann's rosary prayer.
So, I'm here with my brother Brian. Brian, tell me why you're here today.
Well, Ann, I'm here today. My mother is a 76-year-old senior citizen. She works part-time to make ends meet, and she's being thrown out of apartments, and they're throwing my mother out.
That's terrible. That's disgraceful.
Now, Ann Armstrong will never walk by a person in need and not help, but her options were limited. She's not a real estate lawyer, she's a clergywoman. But she had a trick or two up the sleeve of her merry robe that day. You see, Rhode Islanders know, if you want to vent about politics, you call the governor's office, but if you need help fast, you call the lieutenant governor, who's usually more responsive and less tied up with politics. So Ann called Sabina Matos, our state's lieutenant governor, and what do you think happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. The receptionist who answered the phone instantly realized the immediacy and gravity of the situation. She got exactly the information she needed to assign it to the relevant staffer and patched the call through to one Barry O'Connor, who came outside in the wind and cold, 100 yards outside the State House, to meet the elderly woman and help her navigate steps and other obstacles to get inside and out of the wind. He treated this sad, hopeful stranger like he'd treat anyone in need of help. He treated her the way he'd treat his own mother, or how he'd treat a queen. Watching Barry walk the little old gal inside, you just knew everything was going to work out fine. And it did. Inside the State House, the factual confusion with the landlord was instantly gotten to the bottom of, and practical, easy-to-follow advice was given as to how to stave off the eviction and retain good relations with the landlord long term. She was also provided legal aid to help her through this process. And when Barry was done helping, he walked her all the way back outside to the waiting hug of her adult son, Brian. At the lieutenant governor's office, and in Rhode Island generally, folk were just like that. We were raised right to be right. I hope you enjoyed hearing this Good News Christmas season story as much as I've enjoyed sharing it. May God bless each and every one of you and all those you hold dear this Christmas. Remember, the highest achievement a person can attain is caring for others. With special thanks again to Rhode Island Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, her brilliant phone receptionist, and Barry O'Connor, the Healing Church wishes you a Merry, Merry Christmas. Brought to you by Galilee Girls, Rhode Island Organic Squid Kosher Fertilizer. All-purpose 222, baby.
Buy Galilee Girls Fertilizer and get free seeds with every bottle. GalileeGirls.com. Make Rhode Island good again. MRIGA.